Okay, good afternoon, CAREB members. I am excited about our Power Hour today as we end the year of 2023 and enter into 2024. We have great information coming to you regarding business plan and planning. It's going to be a very vigorous year. If I were to put a word to my calendar, it would be vigorous. And so I'm excited about what's to come. I'm excited about supporting our membership and growing our membership this year. And thank you, Parisha, for today's session.
All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. We also want to thank Stephanie Stansel. She's actually the new president for Beach City Realtors, and she is actually going to give a great presentation today for us. And you know so much about yourself, Stephanie. If you can introduce yourself before you get in your presentation, I'm going to let you go ahead and ride with it. Do you need to share the screen or anything like that?
I do. And good afternoon. It's 12:02. I love starting on time. That's my so just a quick introduction. I do have it as a part of my presentation, but I will you gave me rights? All right, let's go. All right, so I was asked to do a presentation on goal setting. And so what I did was, and I'll talk about me in a minute. What I did was kind of took it from goals, but also business planning. So again, Stephanie Stansel. I am a realtor with the Coldwell Banker, president-elect of Women's Council South Bay, president of Beach City Realtors Southern California. I also am the street team director for an organization called Chloe Cares. And it's something I'm very, very proud of. Chloe is my granddaughter. Chloe Cares is a nonprofit that is that provides toiletries to women on the street. She's been doing it since she was 9 years old. She is 16 now. There's 3 parts of this platform, which is Chloe Cares with the toiletries are supporting the women on the street. She also does motivational speaking. And we also have an initiative where we provide water and boreholes for a community in Ghana. So it's a family business. We're all very proud of our Chloe and what the family's done with this. I'm also based out of Southern California. I have 1 daughter and 2 granddaughters. I love Bible study, volunteering, movies. I'm a certified life coach. I'm also a trained vision board leader. And I've actually taken classes to help administer getting through vision board and kind of some of what you guys will see today. I talk about my solution sales because I was a Fortune 500 sales manager for Xerox. I worked for Xerox for almost 21 years. And part of what I did, one of my claim to fame was solution sales. And with that, what I did was I was a paper and media specialist, and my job was to help find solutions with media. So if you want to talk about paper and GSMs and all that, we can have a very lively conversation. Then I'm a bachelor's degree holder from Cal State San Bernardino. And so one of the things that I put up here, and I believe in marketing and making sure that as realtors, we present ourselves in the best possible way. So this is actually a resume, something I put together on the screen. It kind of shows what I offer and things like that. But again, just to give us ideas to help build our business. So that's what you're seeing there. And then from there, let me move this out of my way. Hold on. And so one of the things that I felt was important was to kind of look at vision. So this is my vision board for 2024. There's some key metrics on here that says there's this home I want over in Brea. We all need to work. I would assume we're all working towards cutting down some debt. And then from there, my transaction goals are on here, but this is just 2024. I have other things that I do, but this is to kind of tell you some things to do as far as getting us to our goals. We have to have a vision. We have to really have in our mind what we're trying to do, what we're trying to get to outside of just 20 transactions, 30 transactions. There's got to be a big why behind it. And my big why is really about my family. And then there's this one property I want. So, and then from there, again, with running through, and one of the ways I market myself is real quick because I want to make sure that I give information. I talk fast. I kind of trying to move a little fast. So one of the things I'm going to ask you a lot of questions that kind of build towards a business plan, and we will get to the business plan. And I found a way to present it really quickly and get you to the numbers fast. It's December 28th. most business planning sessions have already pretty well taken place this year. And so I sat in one class and they stated that we should have started our business planning back in August. And that came from a corporate mindset, because you should pretty well know where you're going, how you're getting there. For the most part, we should pretty well know what we're trying to get to by the end for next year. So one of the things that, again, talking about, here's some questions. If you were Oprah, and I know she's been in the media a lot, but she's still someone who's been very, very successful. If you were Oprah, somehow also with you, what'd your life look like? What would your house look like? Your lifestyle, your family, and your big dreams. And again, I believe I'm talking to mature folks, people, agents have been around for a while. And if not, it's still something that we need to look at, because sometimes there's something that we may have been doing 30, 40 years, but there's still that dream that says, I'm still not there. So what does that look like? We may have had life situations that kind of made us hit a pause or a reset, or something happened. So are you still pursuing your life the way, that big dream you had? And again, next question is, what's your perfect day look like? What are the words or images that are associated with you living your best life? Again, we're trying to get to these big things. Next year is going to be, I think, different than anything we've ever seen. I know they say that about this industry year after year, but with that being said, what does your day look like? Are you putting into your calendar the distractions that happen? Are you really looking at, as a real estate agent, and are trying to pursue being a top producer or broker or whatever, if you're in loans or whatever within this industry, what does that day look like? Do you have at 8 o'clock, I'm supposed to be doing this? Do you have at 2 o'clock, are you doing this? Are you creating boundaries around your day to ensure that I am getting the things done and my perfect day looks like X? Next, and I will share my presentation if you guys are interested. Roadblocks. What keeps you from getting to your goals? Is it money? Again, sometimes you may want to go to law school, you're a real estate agent, and I want to go to law school. There may be things that you're trying to do for your children where tuition is a conversation that you guys are having. Do you have enough time to pursue a new career? Even with some of the younger agents or younger brokers, fertility issues. What does the opposite of that look like? So again, what roadblocks, what is in your way? A lot of times when there's things in our way, it's honestly just mindset. So what are those things that are keeping you from your goals? Something to think about. And if there is a value you've lost sight of since college or high school, what does that look like? How do you represent it again? So for me, I think back to when I was 17 years old. I'm far from 17. There were things that I wanted. Are any of those things still in your view? Is there something that you lost sight of? So again, something to think back, and we're going somewhere. Our goal today is really to kind of get back to that vision, that why. I don't think anybody at 15 years old or 17 years old said, hey, yeah, I'm going to be in real estate. I think the what we do is, yes, we help families. Yes, our goal is to help with making sure that there's equity and it's equitable as far as Black people in this business. Yes, we're here to try to make sure that our people have homes. Yes, we're trying to build great businesses. But again, what does it look like? And what career life goals have you achieved in the last year? In the last 12 months, what specifically do you want to look back on and having accomplished this year? What was that great thing you did this year? Were you able to take a great trip? With your career, what did you do? One of the things that I did, I know all of us have bucket lists and all of us have these great things that we want to do. I'm hoping that as we're business planning, we're not just business planning about the numbers, but also about achieving some great things. I had the opportunity this year to go to Egypt. There were 43 Black people that traveled to Egypt, and we were able to take in our culture from a Black perspective. We saw the Nubian village. We did all the temples and the tombs and hot air balloons and ATVs across the Luxor Valley. That was on my bucket list. What did you do? Not just career. I wanted 50 transactions. Okay, you wanted 50 transactions. What's the why behind it? So things to look at. And from there, who do you want to be? And again, I don't think anybody on here is 17 years old, but there's still something that you want to do. What do you want to do? And what do you want to have? Because we don't do this just about, I know we do this and we're in this business to help people, but there is a benefit to being real estate agents. It's a financial gain. We are here to make money. And so what does that look like? So any questions? If I'm moving too fast, I do talk fast. Yes, no, maybe? No, we're quiet. Okay. I like feedback, guys, and I like to see your faces too.
I'll monitor the chat
So,
just in case something
all
comes
right.
up.
All right, so let me keep going.
So I am so excited about that Egypt, and that is on my bucket list. So I'm definitely going to reach out to you to see how did you put that together with the 43 people that you went with.
All right, so I am part of a group called Trailblazers. The Trailblazers is led by this illustrious woman called Betty Arnold, which is my mama.
Oh,
And
wow.
so this is
Okay.
the 5th trip that they've done. And
Okay.
it just, I'll watch my time. Where it started was my mother was involved with this group called African Folk. I'm very proud of my mama. My mother was part of this group called African Focus. And the goal was to get people back to understanding who we are. Because one of the things that the United States does is tells when people from Africa, the United States tells us that people from Africa don't necessarily respect us, and that's not true. That's our brothers and sisters. That's family. And so what she's done is come up with ways to plan these tours, and it's work. So we do ministry. We actually passed out in conjunction with Chloe Cares, we passed out supplies to schools in a Nubian village in Egypt. We took 600 care bags. We passed out all of them. So if we saw women on the street or family on the street, my point from bringing that part of it up is we're trying to get her to plan another trip in 2 years. She's kind of, but she's getting a little older and she's, slowing down a little bit. So we're trying to get her to do one in 2 years. We're actually planning Morocco for 2024. So just if you want to know more, just stay tuned. I'm very proud of our
Thank you.
very proud of that trip. Yeah, it was life transforming. My life changed from that trip. So just know if you're interested, just stay in touch.
I will definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So goals, list 12 goals, 2 key areas in each one: short-term, long-term, spiritual, personal development, relationships, career, education, financial, and also health and fitness. So these are things that you need to look at again, outside of the business plan, but it is something that we still need to look at because again, we do what we do because we want to do all this other fun stuff. All right, let me keep going. And one of the things I added in here, and again, I will share my presentation if you guys like it. We talk about SMART goals, but then a friend of mine we found this idea that talks about smarter goals, which is taking it past the SAMART, and it offers more depth so you can kind of work through these different things. Again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I want to get to the real estate aspect of it, but this will be part of the presentation. So if you want to kind of noodle these around, sit down and work through these, I'll make sure that you have the tools. But it's something, again, to making sure that it's attainable, making sure that it's written down, making sure it's at a place that we can access it so we can build on it. And again, these are components of building that vision board. So one of the reasons why I showed you my vision board, and one of the reasons why I'm going through this, because again, until you understand your why, it's kind of hard to get to the other part of it. Some of us are maybe made that we can just sit down and be very diligent about getting to the numbers, but a lot of times it has to be a very strong why for us to really to complete them. All right, so let's go. All right, so let's get to the business planning stuff. So one of the things that I did, again, this is a down and dirty, real quick way to get to these numbers. And it's something that's, I actually presented this part of it to a group last night, and they were like, oh, this is good, because I've been talking about business planning for the last few months. But this piece right here, we are going to look at the numbers. And again, 100,000 in California, I use that number because it's round numbers. It's easy to kind of talk to. But here we go. So net income is $100,000. Broker split, again, is 30. And again, this is just all about math. You may have more, you may have less, you may have nothing, you may be 100%, but you do your math. And then from there, they state that your expenses should be about 20% of your income. Marketing, desk fees, all the different things that we have, and then also your taxes. Got to make sure that that's calculated in, because if it's not, we're going to be in trouble. So with that, your GCI is going to be $180,000 annually. So we're clear on that. And I turned my thing off. I can't see you guys. I just want to go. Are we good? So we're clear on this? All right. Is it in this? And then from there, what this tool does, and the kind of way this is worked out, again, this is getting you from I gotta go and execution, because the goal is execution, right? So GCI closings, again, it comes out to be about 18. We're going to use a GCI number of $10,000 per transaction. Again, I know we're in California. Average list price is a whole lot more than that, especially in Southern California. We have one of the highest list price in the country. But again, this is really just about math. And so from there, let's start we're going to work our way up. So with 18 closings, you need to take about 25 listings. And so with the 25 listings, with the math, how we got to that, it's a 70% conversion. And so you take your 18 divided by 70%, and that's where you get the 25. And then from there, if we work, let me make sure I did that right, because I did something yesterday. So let me just make sure. I believe it's divided by 18 divided by 18 divided by 70%. Well, it's the other way. It's 18 multiplied by 70%, and you'll get your number. Is that right? Hold on, y'all. It's 18 divided by 70%. I have it right. And then from there, you get your number of 25. So in order to get to 25, in order to get to 18 closed transactions, you need to take 20 listings. And then when we take it up again, you take your 25, and again, this conversion rate divided by 50%. And that means you have to basically meet 50 people. Annual number. This is an annual number. And then from there, with your appointments, take the number again, you take your 50 divided by 50%, and you need to have 50 appointments met. You have to have 50 appointments met. You have to meet 50 people. I'm sorry, 100 people. Sorry, forgive me. And then from there, you take that 100 and you divide it by the 20% again. And that's how many leads you need to have. It's 500 leads. This is, again, an annual number. Any questions? No? And then from there, you take that 500, you divide it by your 10%, and you need to do 5,000 contacts a year. I'm sorry, 5,000 leads. No, that's right. It's 5,000 contacts. That's right. Your ratio from contacts to leads. Forgive me. And then from there, you take that 5,000. They say you can contact about 7 people per hour. You take that 5,000 divided by 7. You need to work 714 hours annually. Any questions? We good? All right. So we're going to go to monthly numbers, because I know you're like 714 hours. So if you do your math, it's 60 hours monthly, 416 contacts monthly. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. 40 leads monthly. 8 appointments made monthly. 4 appointments met monthly. Forgive me. I ate something I had no business. And then 2 listings taken, and a 1.5 about average of closings. And then if you just work your way over weekly, 15 hours, 104 contacts, leads, you can do the math. Any
Yeah, you want to take a little 5-minute real quick, Stephanie?
I'm good.
You
No,
sure? Okay.
So let me just tell you something. We eat stuff we're not supposed to. I have a gluten intolerance, and I had some cake yesterday and I shouldn't have had it. So my body says you shouldn't have had that. So since I shouldn't have had that, now it manifests itself in a cough. So that's what we got. So I'm fine.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I'm good. No, I'm good. I got my water. And then from
Okay.
there, daily, 3 hours of lead gen, 21 contacts, you get 2 leads. It's based on a 5-day work week. Any questions? Thank you, Prisha. Is this helping? Because if we need to go deeper, I can. I just want to make sure you're helping. You monitor it. Okay.
Very helpful.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so then let's go. Let me close this up. Move this out of my way. Close this up and go.
Yes, it's very helpful. Amazing. Very helpful. So
All right.
very good feedback in the chat.
Okay, good. So, Stephanie, I got to do this when, how? And so what I did was, I don't know about you guys, and I'm going to share this real quick story, and I'm watching time. I sit in this Black Ops group every month. And there was a guy in Riverside that said that once he got his schedule together, he went from $250,000 in GCI to $1.3 million in GCI in Riverside. And I'm like, okay, got to figure out this schedule. And I have this whole thing. I'm very color-coded, analytical. So I sat in and said, okay, how can we simplify this? How can we make our schedule so we don't have it all over the place? Week 1, we do this, and week 2, we do this. On Monday, we do this. On Wednesday, do this. No, this is what we're going to do. We're going to role play from 7:30 to 8. We got to practice our dialogues. We got to know what to say when we're talking to people. You got to be clear about what you're saying, whether you're doing SOI or whether you're doing cold calls or whatever you're doing. We got to practice. We got to make sure that we're excellent when we get in front of our people. If I didn't learn nothing else about this business, the difference between this business and the corporate arena, they used to make us practice knowing our stuff. When you get in front of somebody, you only have one opportunity. And yes, 9 times out of 10, we start with our SOI and our referrals. But if you get in front of your people and you blow it, they're not going to refer you. And that's one of the strongest lead sources you'll ever have. Personal development. Are you studying? Are you reading? Are you picking up a book? Are you listening to an Audible? Are you doing something to feed who you are on a regular basis? And this is daily. Some people do it once a week, but this is daily. 8 to 8:30, 30 minutes, you can find time to feed your mind. 8:30 to 9, check your numbers. What's going on with your numbers? Are you hitting your task like you need to hit? Did you make your contacts this week? If you're behind, ahead, oh, by the way, how many listings went on the market yesterday? What's going on in your farm? Are you sure about where you are as far as your pipeline? All those different things, whatever your numbers are, you need to check your numbers to make sure you're clear about when you sit down and start your day, you know which way you're going. Hey, this is Stephanie Stansel. I'm calling from Caldwell Banker. I saw that there was a listing that went on the market yesterday. Do you know when one listing goes on the market, 2 or 3 more listings go on the market at the same time? Were you interested in getting a CMA so we can share with you what's going on with your home? So when you do that, because I know what's going on in my area, when I'm calling my circle prospecting, it's easier for me to have that conversation. Again, I just ran you a real quick script. Learn what to say. Prospecting, because we've agreed that based on $100,000 net, again, this is with a $10,000 commission, we agreed that we need to do 3 hours of prospecting from 9 to 12. And so we have 3 hours of prospecting based on our formula. You got to do lunch. You got to do some self-care. Stop and take a break throughout your day. From 1 to 2, you do your lead follow-up. Send out the CMAs, making sure you return phone calls, all those different things. One of the systems that I was watching, again, another training, they said schedule distractions. Put it in your calendar. You know, us girls, Jackie, I'm gonna tell you my story. Jackie gonna call me at 9 o'clock, and me and Jackie gonna key about whatever we talk about. Put it in the calendar, call Jackie at 2 o'clock, and we can do whatever we want to do within an hour. If you schedule it that way, you know that that's your time to kind of take a reset. and then any admin. So whatever, if you're doing your social media, if you need to do flyers, if you need to do whatever, as far as your admin, as far as how you run your business, from 3 to 4. And then from 4 to 6, any other prospecting and or appointments. Any questions or anything, any questions? Is it still good? You're quiet. I like noise.
Yes, it's good.
Okay, so now let's look at lead sources. So I kind of did a brain dump with this. We have SOI, referral, expires, FSBOs. There are probably other things that you guys do, tax liens, probates, absentee owners. You guys all know this, but this is again to help jog your mind. So as you're jogging your mind, it gives you some ideas that kind of work towards. All of us have our SOIs. All of us, I would say, have a niche and or we're doing some type of farming. We should probably have some networking. This is kind of what we're doing here, some networking. But what else are you working on? So I just wanted to give you a few things that kind of give you something to think about as you're putting your numbers together. There's other things. Anybody else doing anything else out there that maybe help the next person that's not on this list? No? All right. So then from there, what I did was I said, let's pick our lead sources. And I just thought maybe give some help as to what you can do to build and grow in this area. So first lead sources, SOI. From there, what you can do. So the mindset here was, if you understand basic real estate business plans, they go like with a 135 or a GPS. Anyone that's Keller Williams or have ever done Keller Williams, that's kind of some of the terminology they use. But it's always you pick 1 to 3, you pick 3 to 5 lead sources, and then you have 5 activities within those different lead sources. So I kind of put some suggestions in here. You make calls, your Facebook engagements, direct mail, some type of monthly email. Ricky Carruth says you should do 1 email a week, 52 weeks a year. He does 100 transactions a year. Pop buys, coming up with some way to touch your people with some type of little cute little gift. I love pop buys. So come up with something that will help brand you, get in front of people. Many of them say pop buys go to your database. But I also, within your niche, it could be some little something you put together within your niche to drop off. Say you prospect dentists and just throwing something out. Put together a little something. I was talking to a agent I coached earlier today. She's a mom. She's got 5 children. Her and her husband have 5 children. So she's in and out of the doctor's offices all the time with 5 kids. And she's always at the school with 5 kids. I said, put together some little pop buy or some little gift that you can take to the teachers. Take something to the dental offices, because a lot of times they get stuck at the office, and take them some chips and something to drink or something like that. So again, within these different lead sources, how we contact people are pretty well the same. It's just coming up with a plan for each one. And so again, SOI, expires, however you're going to do it, just some suggestions. And that's it. It was real quick. Any questions?
Great information. Can you go back to the slide before that last slide? That, not the other one. Yeah, that one. Okay. That was the one that I was didn't get the information. Thank you.
So what do you do in your business? What are your 3 to 5 lead sources?
For me, it's my referrals and just being in front of people, going to in person. I'm an in-person. So I get my leads from belonging to other organizations and then doing workshops. So workshops and referrals, and just being in front of people, going to events that put me in front of people.
Good stuff. So one thing I didn't put on here is seminars. I think seminars are a great way to get in front of people. I know sometimes the mortgage professionals, based on what I'm told, struggle with a return on investment because of making sure that there's, so we do this big production. We have everybody come out to this room and nobody shows up. So what I found is do dual purpose. So not just the home buyer seminar, the home selling seminar. One of the things I did the beginning of this year is I did vision board home buyer seminars. And so we literally again, I take this background stuff I studied, and we did vision boards, and I had 100. My room only held 10 people. I had 8 people sign up. I actually had 13 people show up, which was considered good. I was told with some of these, if one person shows up, we've done well, is based on the mortgage professionals I've talked to. But find another way, theme it out. Use your chat GPT tools. That's a whole nother class. Use your tools with your communication. But what else? What else are you guys out here doing to help you grow your businesses outside of anything that you see on the screen? Because you're going to help one another. We're going to help one another.
Mhm. Well, I think that with social media, another thing is your YouTube videos. So creating content. And so there's a day that I put aside for marketing and social media content. And as a broker, it's on the day that I also have my sales meetings and my trainings for my agents. So I kind of lump that all into a marketing day leading to training and my sales meeting.
Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done. Again, I try to, I'm a chatty Cathy, so we can talk till Jesus comes, because that's just who I am. But I felt like I would give you something that was quick, down and dirty, give you an opportunity to kind of, get something real quick. I'm hoping it's helpful. If we need to dig deeper, I can, but I felt like just let me get something real quick so I can go and execute was kind of my thought for today. Any other questions?
Real good, Stacy, Stephanie. Can you put your contact information so we can be in touch with you?
It's actually on the slide. I have a slide. That's me, and then I can put it in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
well, yeah, cool. Well, Stephanie, since we have a couple of minutes, you we said a hard stop at 1. We didn't say a hard stop at 12:30. So,
I'm not.
so
Well,
if you don't mind, go ahead, Rhea.
Carisha, since we're talking about business plans and our schedule, I just want to maybe take a minute for our membership chair, Helena Jones Kim, to share with everyone our prospecting day to kind of help people along and holding them accountable to their call time, and just have her share her success story on our first prospecting day.
Okay. Hi, Lena Jones Kim here, your second VP. Thank you. I believe that, Stephanie, that presentation was excellent. And, if I'm being honest with you, we see a lot of these presentations quite often, but not like this. This is a softer side. And I love the quick approach, because what I find is sometimes business plans and goal planning is so elaborate, so many pages and all these different paragraphs that we just don't get them done. And I have learned over the years that the shorter my actual business plan is when it comes to numbers, really knowing your numbers. This is how many contacts I need to make. This is the numbers. And you really back into your numbers and you break it all the way down to, I need to contact 10 people a day, 7 people a day, or a certain people amount per hour. It really makes it more realistic. And that is why one of my goals is membership this year is the first Tuesday of the month. We have something called Prospecting Tuesday, where we start at 7:00 a.m. The first thing that we start with is role play, as you mentioned in your layout earlier. Then we also have goal setting, because I believe even when you're prospecting that you want to say, I want to meet this many contacts per day. And this is what I want from this day. I want to leave this day with 2 listings or 2 buyers. So I do believe that energetically, when you set your goals like that and you're prospecting, that you have a tendency to reach your numbers. On the day that I prospected, I did get a listing. So I got a listing appointment. I got that. I set that up on Zoom, and so her and I are going to meet in person. But the probability of me actually executing that listing when she comes out, I believe, is pretty high. So again, that comes from just taking the time to work inside of your business and to have a plan. So, if you're going to work every day, 8 to 5, 40 hours a week, we're putting in time for other people. I do find that us as real estate mortgage professionals, sometimes we don't do that. So it's nice to be able to have, an actual goal and to have it on a micro level like that. so that, we can say, okay, today it's just 7 calls. I just need to actually contact 10 or 15 people. So I hope that's helpful. But again, we have Tuesdays from 7 to noon. It is Prospecting Tuesdays, the first Tuesday of the month. And we'll collaborate together and help you reach some of these goals. So thank you for your presentation. I was excited to get on here, and I do appreciate it.
So what I found is what happens is when we have to do these major presentations, we get in the weeds and it doesn't get done. And then we look up and like I said, December 28th, and we're still talking about business planning. And this frankly should have been done back in October, September, something like that. And so with that, I'm like, okay, because I teach another class every Wednesday night. And every Wednesday night we talk about it. Every single Wednesday night since October, we've been talking about business planning. So I'll ask the question, who all has their business plan done for this year, for next year? Who all has it done? And it would be 3 people answered out of 25 people. And so I'm like, okay, is it too much? Are we giving them too much information? Are we making it too hard? I've sat in Keller Williams business planning. I've sat in Caldwell Bank. I've sat in so many different business planning just to come up with a way to try to present this information so people can grab it and run. And so this one, I actually literally found the beginning of this week, because I was going to do the normal, we go through here and in the 3-5, and we got to make sure we're all this. I was going to do that, but something said change it up because people are not getting it. And we got so much going on. And so I presented the business planning part of this last night in 15 minutes. I got more responses from people saying, thank you for making it simple. And we can get our notebooks and write them down. Granted, you need to get into the taxes. You need to understand your tax implications. You need to understand your financials and backing into how much money you want to make. You need to know those things. But bottom line is, when you start on Tuesday morning about what you're going to do you know how many calls you need to make? Do you know who you're going to call? Do you know why you're going to call them? And so again, keeping it simple, I felt like you're not as overwhelmed, because I don't know how many times you guys have sat through business planning sessions and got off the phone, out the room, whatever, in your car. It's like, oh my God, I got to put all this stuff together.
Right.
That's
So
Stephanie. That's
So
just
true.
Stephanie. And I
yeah,
teach this stuff, and it's like, y'all still didn't do your doggone business plan. I mean, literally last night, I've been talking to this same group for months. How many have their business plan? And 3 people out of 25 raise their hand. I'm like, Lord, keeping it all the way real. But when I presented this, they're like, thank you. Now I can do it, and it's easy.
all right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. We got a couple of more minutes. Does anyone have any other questions? Otherwise, if you got a couple of minutes, can you share with us your CMA a day strategy real quick before we go? If you don't mind sharing your secrets.
Me?
Yes.
I can. The details. Okay, so CMA a day. So there is data to support that if you do 1 CMA a day, it will bring you 10 deals. 1 unsolicited CMA a day. And again, I'm shooting off the top of my head. What I would suggest is that's a strategy that you're going to use. Go to your database. Call your people. Call people you know that know you, like you, and trust you. Call your people and just, hey, I'm just checking in. It's the end of the year. Think a lot of change in the real estate business. I'm going to send you a CMA or a comparative market analysis or market analysis or whatever, so you understand your numbers. One of the keys to this is you got to deliver it. Print it out, put it on their doorstep. And I've heard this. There's a guy in Florida with Berkshire Hathaway who says the same thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the Win by Noon tool with Todd Bookspan. He's a mortgage professional. He teaches it. Coach Ella teaches it. I don't know if you guys know Ella Blaine. She's a Real Estate Ladies Rock out of the Maryland area. She actually has a boot camp that we're in right now, and we're doing it. And it's just another way to get in front of people. But the key is you deliver this CMA, but you got to follow up. Did you get it? And then if they say yes or no, and then you do a personal note. But again, it's not just that one hit. You got to hit it several different ways because it takes about 8 times for people to even recognize you're there. And that's it. If you want to get into the RPR part of it, you can go into RPR and pull the numbers. We've actually done some things with market trends. If you want to see that, I can show it to you real quick if you want. You good?
Yeah, because I think I believe Comma Burton's going to help us with the RPR next
Okay.
on the next power hour. So I
Okay.
got everybody covered.
Okay. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
but I appreciate that. Is there anything else that anyone wants to ask, or because Stephanie is a wealth of information. Anything you would like to ask Stephanie or input or
would-
anything like that?
It would be nice for her to talk to preparing for your prospecting. So one thing that I find running a brokerage is that you have your prospecting hours. You know when you have it slotted, your 3 hours a day, your 20 calls. But where most people fail is preparing those 20 people that you're going to call. So what recommendations do you give to agents on how to prepare and when to prepare their prospecting call list?
So I would say the first thing is identify your VIPs and identify your past clients. So you should have within your CRM or your Excel spreadsheet, you should have your VIPs, your past clients, and everybody else. I suggest on Monday, you call your VIPs. You should already have them in your database. And the VIPs are people who give you business, who will refer you. They may not have, you may have never sold anything with these people, but they are your referral source, a strong referral source. That should be at least 50 people. You need to move towards having 50 people as VIPs. And then from there, call them on Monday. On Tuesday, you need to do any escrow updates, past clients, reaching out, seeing if you can get business from there. Wednesday and buyers and sellers. So anybody in escrow, anybody that you've done business with, things like that on Tuesday. Wednesday, circle prospecting. And this is just something I have my schedule right here. You can't see it, but I have mine right here. Thursdays, absentee owners is what I focus on, and then Fridays, any follow-up. But as you're preparing, you need to make sure that your CRMs are cleaned up and set up based on that. Keller Williams even has one that's called a DTD2, and it's due the database to, and it's alphabetical. So it could be we start next week, the first week of the month, you call A's, the second week you call B's, the third week you call C's. It's 26 letters in the alphabet. You do one every week, and then you hit reset middle of the month, middle of the year. That's simple. Again, I think we've made it too hard. We've made it way too hard in this business. And it's hard work. It's hard. It's bad enough it's hard work. Then you make it hard too. Because real estate is hard work. I ain't never worked this hard before. And I was a salesperson. I sold media for Xerox for 20 some years. And I worked my tail off. I ain't never worked this hard before. Make it simplified as the best you can. Does that help?
Thank you for sharing.
Okay. Have I created a criteria checklist? The criteria checklist to determine who would be VIP. I do have something. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on.
And then when you're done with that, Stephanie, there was another question. What CRM do you use or recommend?
I use Coldwell Bankers. I understand follow-up is good. I know we talk about we don't want to use follow-up because it's attached to Zillow. Wise Agent is user-friendly. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen again. So this is from another presentation, and the presentation was about building our schedule. And so this was an added bonus. Let me put in presentation mode. You can see all my crazy stuff on my screen. Yes, I have everything open, but this is how you get to your VIP list. Top questions you ask when building your top VIP list. Who's on your phone, who's on Facebook, connected with LinkedIn, whose office space you've been to. met their family and or spouse, attended an event you've hosted. So again, it could be you have a party, you have a barbecue every summer in August and you invite your who's. It would be those type of people. Have you been to, who's been to your personal home, you've given a gift to, who's given you a gift, and who you've invited to their home and or event that they host.
Thank you. That was really informative. That was very helpful.
Good. That was part of a scheduling training I did. Y'all can't see my crazy screen. But yeah, that was part of a scheduling training I did. It was just a bonus. Is there anything else? I hope this helped. I mean, again, I was trying to get you guys something quick and down and dirty. Thank you guys. That's it. Unless you have other questions. I appreciate you guys allowing me to speak.
Well, no, I guess if that's the only, if no one else has anything else to ask, I mean, we thank you, Stephanie, for coming through and giving us this wealth of information. We'll see if we can get you in towards the later of the year with some more different stuff you have. I know you're doing a lot of great things right now, and you're actually part of the Coachella team over there. And then, did you want to leave out with anything else you want? You do have your own coaching program. Okay, so I'm give you a little plug. You know, we got 5 minutes or so. Give you a little plug.
My main thing is getting people into production. I am not the zip forms and all of that teaching. Now I know my tools, but my thing is really just come up with a way that we can get you guys in production. I really follow the model of daily activities and knowing that if you do your daily activities, you'll get to your numbers. And I love working with women. And because it's just something special about how we do what we do. Not that I have a problem with guys, I don't. But I really have a thing about empowering women. One of my biggest things is just making sure that we all win as girls. That's my thing. I have a daughter, I have grandchildren. As I spoke about my mother earlier, my mother's been very influential. We both worked for the Xerox Corporation, and we were part of a Black women's leadership group that really propelled a lot of careers. And so with that, I'm part of Women's Council also. So I'm really want to make sure that no matter what, because there's some things that we do that's a little different that helps us grow. And again, I'm not against the guys. I love our men too, but I really focus on trying to help making sure that we're empowered as women.
Okay. All right. Did you want to say did you want to say anything, Madam President, before we close out, or anyone else has anything they want to add or say? Any events coming up or anything you want to bring to our attention before
Sure.
we let you go before the end of the year? Yes, this is our last time together for the year's up. So
Sure. As a reminder, the Black Developers Academy, hopefully you all have been receiving our email updates through CAREB. And you have our membership renewal booklet. So our membership renewal booklet has information on how you can join a committee. So if you are interested in joining one of our committees, we have our committee chair contacts in our booklet. So feel free to contact them and get involved. In addition, we have the Black Developers Academy nationally. They have 49 to 50 slots, I believe, available, and applications are due on January 5th. So if you're interested in development, be sure to apply to that. Also, don't forget to renew your membership. So contact your local board and get your renewal in, because we have a great year ahead of us, and we love to have you all back as members. So be sure to renew and welcome in your new presidents. If you have a new president coming in, be sure to welcome them in and get involved and find out what they have set for you for your local area. If you have any questions, suggestions, or things you'd like to see for our state board coming up in the new year, feel free to contact me. I'm available. A lot of members have reached out, and I'm always available for a conversation. Thank you, Parisha.
all right, no problem. Thank you. Thank you. All right, well, that concludes our Power Hour for today. Please join us next year. Our first one will be Become Burton, and will be broker and agent resources that we already pay for with our CAR and NAR, which will probably bring up some RPR things, some landing pages. It's a great presentation, and she's done it quite a few times, and we got a lot of benefits that we probably don't know about. So with that being said, Happy New Year and have a great rest of the week, you guys. See you soon.
Happy New Year, everyone.